Hello everyone, nickname here for a very janky ass tutorial on how to optimize shape. We're gonna use this EOS buggy right there for planes as a demonstration. So right now if we press F2 we can see the physic shapes, which don't look very great as you can see. It's kind of a mess, and you can think of it as each one of those colors is independently calculated for all the physics and stuff. So the less you have, the better. So a way to optimize those that I've found out, which can be very quick instead of manually placing invisible block everywhere, is that you can use a bunch of block instead. So let me just get one up. So I've made a small cube here for myself. You can have your own. I might just post it if it's requested enough. So you want to kind of make a small area like this. Might need to make it a bit longer as well. I mean wider. There we go. Don't forget to merge everything. And so what this does is that at the center here, as you can see, I cannot place blocks because there is a bunch of invisible blocks. I'm using invisible pipe because if I use proper invisible block, then it might cull a face, which will make, for example, a face here invisible. How that works is that if I go in there, for example, of course it doesn't when I want to show it. I think it needs to be the same color. Yeah, there we go. See how that face that's on the block under there became invisible when I placed this one? If that block was invisible, it will, well, not show that block, but the face under it will still be invisible as well. So you'd have holes everywhere in your creation. So that's why for this method, I use pipes, which doesn't do that culling effect. So the way this method works is very simple. What you want is you want to copy whatever part. It doesn't have to be a plane buggy. It can be anything, really. You want to copy over using the copy and paste tool your buggy like this. You want to cut it. If it's already part of a creation, you don't want to redo all your logic. You can cut it and it will save the logic. And you want to place it inside that box in a way that everything is inside. There we go, everything is inside. You can see it via that hitbox right there. And you want to paste it. Now, important part is that you don't want to clear and reset the grid. Also, another very quick note, you don't want a lot of wedges inside this. So, because wedges have their own physics shapes. They're not square physics shapes. A lot of other blocks are fully squared, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But yeah, so what this does is that everywhere there is an empty space on this buggy has been replaced by an invisible block, which has its own physics shape that adds up to the physics shape of everything else. So what you want to do is to merge that buggy to the base. There we go. You want to go back to your selection grid. And since you still have the same area selected, you can then cut it again and pull it back out. Don't forget to merge, that is very important. And what this will do, as you can see, is it will put a bunch of invisible block in wherever you need them to. I might have taken it a bit too large because it also took on like all of this side right there. Those will not be necessary, like those tiny things that pokes out are not very bad in terms of performance. Also, before you put it into there, if there is some certain areas, for example, interior area or area you want to walk in for some other project, you can fill those areas with green blocks. That way, when you pull it back out from that block over there, you can very, very easily just remove those green blocks because they'll be very easily visible. So then you can just erase them and you'll still have, and there won't be any invisible block. So the result of this is that if we spawn it and press F2 again, you can see now it's a square. It is not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was before. I think it's not perfect because we have some something else like wedges, I think so. Yeah, see, we have a wedges right there, and that's what wedges do. They because of their different shape, they kind of poke a hole, which prevents it from being a complete brick. But yeah, also the train wheel, as you can see here, you cannot place block on that area, but it doesn't calculate physics either. So it means that it's gonna be empty. So what you'd want is on some spaces, like remove the interior of those side right there, remove those invisible block, those here and here. But yeah, this is very specific to the case of train bogies. And that's basically how very quick optimizing works for physics shapes. You also have the interior right there, which you can see this is the part that we removed where there was invisible block. And so there we go. That's how you optimize a creation very easily via just having a block of invisible block instead of having to place every single invisible block manually one by one, which is quite the pain. But yeah, there we go.